Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the playoffs of the Alpha X King of Battles tournament, with over $30,000 on the line and some ESL Pro Tour points as well, valuable in those upcoming Premier tournaments. The top players are here. They're fighting to determine who is truly the King of Battles. No, it is not a mobile game ad, but instead one of the most high-profile, especially independent, StarCraft 2 tournaments of the entire year. And, of course, you shouldn't be the least bit surprised to see these two players making it towards the end of it. In the bottom right, simple enough. One of the most dynamic Terran players, and by dynamic I mean sometimes one of the most exciting and inspiring, and sometimes making it look like anyone could play professional StarCraft. It is Cure. And in the top left, the man who needs no introduction. But I have a job to do, and we gotta make it dramatic anyways. The favorite in almost any matchup that doesn't involve Italian Zergs. The finisher from ENCE Esports, from Finland, and from inside of your foreigner hearts. It is the world champion of 2018. It's Serral. So, on paper here, as always, Serral is the overwhelming favorite. Serral has beaten Cure before. Cure, he's the breaker of brackets. But usually in Terran versus Terran is where he works his, some might call it magic. Others might call it witchcraft. Even others might call it confusion. But you really don't know which cure is going to show up today. Is it going to be like essential oils rubbed on all of your joints every day at high noon? We'll talk about that Reaper kill in a sec. Or is it going to be like I don't know, like the polio vaccine? It depends. Depends on the day. Depends on how far the creep has spread. But Cure definitely can play with the best of them. And he can beat them as well. Just not usually. Like, I give Cure so much shit. And he deserves most of it. But it makes him one of the most, like the Scarlet of Terran. Like, one of the most exciting players to watch, partially because you don't know what you're going to get today. Whereas Serral is, Serral's Serral. He kind of defines it. You know what, like, the Slayer of Maru, we finally had that. We might get that again. Because, of course, Maru's made it on the other side of the bracket as well. Is that a fusion core? Is that a Roach Warren and a fusion core? And a third command center? Okay. You know what? Enough of the intro bit. So, this is the Macro Cruiser versus Roach All-In. Wait, is it Roach All-In? Yes. He's got 2 gas. He's banking Larva, right? Yeah. He's got Zergling speed. So the Roach is like if he just went straight into Battle Cruiser, then the Battle Cruiser would probably be out by the time this attack hits. But because he went for the 3Cs, okay. Use your words. Use your letters. All it takes is letters. 3CCBC. There you go. Because he went for that, the Battle Cruiser is delayed. And that means these roaches are going to have some time to get damage done. But Cure is going to spot it. He sees the roaches and raptors on the way. He knows what he's dealing with. But does he have the tools with which to stop it? He's going to take damage. There's not even a wall at the front. The 3rd Orbital Command retreats towards the main. He just cancels the depots. He knows the wall will not hold, for there are not the units with which to back it up. The Hellions will retreat. The SCVs have evacuated all the way up to the high ground. The battlecruiser is halfway done. Bunker is built. There's not that many Marines to put in it, but the high ground vision, now might be the time to move. Still no, 2 SCVs done. I think the ones that were near. The ones that were still in the gas at the natural. The battlecruiser is out. It feels like Serral's kind of slow playing this. He may actually kill the orbital. Like, the orbital's burning, which, like, orbitals can't dodge corrosive bile very well, but we're in a weird scenario where that's actually potentially necessary. It looks like the orbital will hold. Of course, with a battlecruiser, Serral just decided, okay, I've gotten everything I needed here. Serral kind of feels uncommitted with this attack. I guess it wasn't so much an all-in as a timing, as he already had 40 drones when he started it. But it feels like he could have just gone up that ramp. I don't know if he knew there was a 3rd command center. He didn't want to overcommit, and now he's just focusing on macro. He's focusing on his economy. But it's kind of a weird scenario, because you don't really want to... Oh, the mule peaks, I'm sure we'll get here. With 3 orbital commands, 3 mules worth about 5 SCVs apiece for the time they're mining. Brings this a lot closer to even. It's going to be mech. Cure pretty well accomplished in that Gumiho style. Hopefully Gumiho does come back after his military... Oh my god, he's going Yamato. That means more battle cruisers, more tactical jumps. Another cruiser jumps into the natural. Serral's lair is significantly delayed, of course, because he went for a Roach Ravager attack. The queens are kind of weirdly walled off towards the 3rd. There are battle cruisers everywhere, like the most annoying fly possible. And now, Serral's just kind of scrambled. I guess queens are good, but their knitting needles have gotten nerfed multiple times now. Give Brenda back her knitting needles. Otherwise, battlecruisers will be reigning over all Zerg. The flying laser bathtubs are, like, you can deflect them, but you can't actually directly deal with them. As they have, like, 5,000 HP, give or take. They can blink away at a moment's notice. Once they get Yamato, they can one-shot queens. What can't they do? I mean, they are almost as expensive as a command center, but at the same well, they are as expensive as a command center. What am I saying? They're 400 minerals and 300 gas. They ain't cheap, but they definitely pay off now that they can fire while moving. So Cure, at the end of his battlecruiser, I mean, harass, I don't feel like really describes it, but I guess it's the best word. He's killed 17 drones. Wow, Serral only killed 2 SCVs. I mean, I pointed it out at the time, but still, it's so crazy. He's killed 17 drones. He's denied multiple 4th bases. He's killed a couple queens in there. And, of course, he's defended his bases as well. So, Cure has acquitted himself about as well as you ever could. And here's the problem with the battlecruisers. You can't... Like, Hydras do not counter battlecruisers. They don't even pretend to counter battlecruisers. You tell me, I'll get my Microbial Shroud. All right. Let me subscribe to your stand-up comedy podcast, because that's a joke in this scenario against someone who's going to have mech underneath it. It has to be Corruptors, and Corruptors don't have great effectiveness, and by that I mean essentially none, against ground mech. So, Corruptors versus the battlecruisers. Now, Serral, like, going for this many battlecruisers and having a stable economy has essentially dictated Serral's tech path, which means Cure doesn't have to worry about countering what Serral's doing right now. He knows where he's going, and he knows how to deal with it. So already he's focused on maxing out with 1-1. He's got siege tanks. His industrial revolution is complete. He's got 5 factories online in his base. So right now, with 3 battlecruisers, which they demand respect. They demand it via superior firepower. The mule, like, Serral's great income lead has evaporated as Cure has built up his worker count. He's dropped the mules and he's jumped the battle cruisers. 1-1 is done. Cure's even on supply. How many, like, wait. Is he rebuilding? I guess the Baneling nest took some damage. No, it didn't. Serral. Well, this way I can make Baneling speed twice as fast. That's, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Thank you for answering my question, Serral. Roach Corruptor, like, Serral is playing a high economy. He's trying to leverage a high economy composition. He's Somebody play the Carbot honks. Sit down, Mr. Barrick, so I can spray all over you. And I think I've seen this in other types of videos, but not on this channel. So, a Thor is on the way. Just adding in a little bit of extra anti-air. Thor's more of your late game unit. Hive is started, but without, like Hive Tech is a long way off. This is the kind of army Serral wants against 140 supply. Like a 3-base Terran with 140 supply. Not a maxed out Terran with 4 bases and a planetary, but he's got to make it work. Around a corrosive bile. Guns down, a missile turret. He's going to want a lot more than that. Serral is working with a mid-game composition against a late-game army. He has the economy, but so does Cure, and that is the prevailing issue. This is not an army that deals with mech that well. Serral has to keep Cure at bay and then go to late game. Like, we're talking, it looks like it's going to be Vipers. It looks like it's going to be Greater Spire. That one's kind of a shoo-in. But the upgrades are actually about even for a mech Terran player, which is pretty rare in and of itself. And the worker count is perfectly comfortable. So, it feels like we're kind of just treading water right now. Serral needs to try to get some damage done, whereas Cure just sits back and builds up his perfect army, which is, I mean, the battlecruisers are out here. The Corruptors are on the wrong side of the map. They can't tactical jump. Meanwhile, the battlecruisers are just slaughtering drones. There's a couple dozen drones over there, right for the taking. Queens, good luck. Brenda, why are they just allowed to blink into our base? How is that fair? Like they're the size of a command center. You're the size of a command center, Karen. You shut up. Now spread the... Ah! So frustrated. Everybody's like, tensions are running high right now for Serral's army. Even though the supplies are even, they're both maxed out. I'm really struggling to see a solution here for this. This is kind of a slow burn. Ever since that early attack with the battlecruiser defense, Serral has just been like, even when he's attacked, he's still playing defense. At no point has Cure just been sitting back. But he's been patient, he's been careful. He's not committing any more than he can afford to lose. And he's not going to lose the battlecruisers because of the tactical jump. Until there's at least fungal, he's not going to lose the battlecruisers. That is a hefty mech army right there. But does Serral have enough to break? That's too many tanks. What are those 2 Marines? No, look at that. I guess a round of corrosive bile will help. He's able to get one of the battlecruisers, but Serral, the tank fire and the Hellbat fire, literally and figuratively. And one very, very, very brave hero Marine, Big Gabe, embodied right there. One red health Marine, as part of a mech composition, decides to take on Serral's full Zerg army. You go get him. He leads the charge. What a hero. He probably won't last very long here. Avenge me! Nidus, Greater Spire, Regular Spire. All the late game options, but Cure just kind of plopped down his command center, slapped a few tanks around it, and challenged Serral to do anything about it. He tried. Serral's had more money, but the cost efficiency, wow, he's lost. I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's like 6, wait, no, okay, 5, no, 4 to 5 times more, a whole lot more gas. the efficiency for Serral is not there. And Cure's maxed out. He's just chilling. He's just chilling. He's lost 831 gas. Like, he's mining right now. He's mining 1,300 gas a minute. Serral's mining 1,600. He's mining more than that in 40 seconds. Like, my God. Really embodying that German efficiency there from the big game Marine. How do you deal with this? Serral doesn't have, like, that Infestor, Broodlord, Viper late game. Oh! Well, that was a 300 more gas mistake right there. A little bit. Yeah, a dozen corrosive vials and corruptors enough. And he tilts over. That suddenly 50% more gas lost. Cure's just building. Oh my God, what is this CCPM here? He's building 4 more command centers. What else are you gonna spend your money on? I'd love to see him go ghost. Just start getting nukes. Cure doesn't strike me as the type of guy to go with like the mass nuke play. Just play it safe. All right, just chill. Serral's stressing himself out. Cure at a comfortable 300 something APM, which sounds like a lot until you factor in Serral's 470 and rising. Cure's about to max out on vehicle weapons. Armor's a little behind. This is happening. Those corruptors getting their anti-quote-unquote building work in. Doesn't want to be caught between a rock and a hard place. But Serral's still... Oh, yeah, okay, Mapu, calm down. Simmer down. Neural Parasite, because we all know there's only one good counter to Thor's. And that answer is Thor's. If you can't beat them, hire them. In the great words of Kiwion. And that truly is the most effective way. Like, Broodlords kind of can deal with it. Vipers work around the edges. But the only direct way of dealing with Thors is turning them against one another. What are you doing? What, 20 mutas? No. No. What are you doing? What is Serral doing? No. That's... I pretty confidently say no. I don't care what upgrades you have. Like, he has more than 0 Thors. What a muta risk he's taking. He has 21 turrets. Does he not? He doesn't have, like, high Sark auto tracking, but... I mean, those are about as well upgraded mutas as you're ever gonna see. He's going for an Ultra Cavern. What is this? This isn't Wings of Liberty! It doesn't work like this anymore. Serral, Serral. I don't want to be like that guy, but... Okay, like, the mutas show up. He's got 4,000 gas in the bank, but that's 2,000 gas of mutas right there. Like, even Liberators. Like, the Liberators are just chilling. The Thors are in not splash damage mode. He needs to manage that. So now Serral just has these 20 mutas. And not just the fact, like, they can't act... Like, that's 40 supply. What are you going to do with them? Like, what are they gonna kill, like, 6 turrets? You have 40, so he's making more, like it's a plan. Cure, meanwhile, like, he's lost 1,500 gas. Serral hasn't lost that much gas, but... I think the answer is Broodlord Infestor. Because this game kind of slows down to the point where you start thinking about the chess pieces. Alright, the Corruptors, but... I think he's going to go mutas. I guess Serral is mining an entire... If Cure doesn't realize this... Cure can see his gas, by the way. Cure! Serral has taken the gas. It's like on Cure's back porch right now. It's like, is that an extractor in my backyard? Not on my lawn. I don't know. Somebody call the homeowners association. I said no extractors. That was a rule. Somebody call Karen. Oh my God. So yeah, that's going to be a no to mutas. Cure's like, what if I countered your gas with my minerals? Serral's like, okay. Have a nice day. And now we're here. Serral with over 9,000 minerals, but Cure has 6,500 gas in the bank. The TPM is skyrocketing right now. 47 turrets with like 20 lost. No, 10 lost. Cure just kind of walks over here. But, alright, the Queen of Brenda! What? Were we getting hazard pay? How are you alive? Okay. So the Mutas will dive on the Thors. The turrets are still doing a lot. Broodlords exist. I mean, Thors are not the most agile creatures. So, but the turrets are helping a lot. Like, a lot. The turrets are killing so many Mutas. There's a turret under the it's cloaked by the battle cruiser. There's a turret under. Wait, was there? I thought there was a turret. I guess there. Maybe there was a turret. There's no. And the Broodlords are just. Well, we're no longer in a feudal society. Here comes the ground army. In the next wave of this tower defense game. And it looks like Serral may break the base. I guess. Maybe. The battlecruiser's still not dead, by the way. But Serral, I mean, Cure has like 8 other command centers to replace it with. So, oh, at least he gets the battlecruiser, which is a moral victory. So let's, now we gotta ask, of course, at what cost? Now Serral's building ultras, which is the only thing, like, come on, Serral. That is the only thing in this scenario. Oh my god, game time. I'm kind of busy right now. I don't, but could he have said anything more game time? I don't even know how to bring up the menu to put myself on. Well. The potato emoji, possibly. Is it potato? Possibly the most appropriate emoji to be added to this match. So now Serral has lost nearly double the gas. He's really, like, what do you... That's so many turrets. He's killing the Liberators. I don't feel like Ultras... Well, mediocre lists are... Even with all the upgrades, just not... I mean, what are you going to build? What are you going to build? That's a real question. So here come the Ultras. There's not much here to defend. Serral will smash this base relatively cheaply. So we're fighting over the edge cases here. We're fighting over the one base that might be contested as they mine out both sides. And now we do have to have the conversation of what's left when everything is mined out. Serral doesn't have that much gas. Like, the income is starting to become irrelevant because the banks are larger than the army values, nearly. Serral coming in with the Mutt-Mutts. Gets a Thor. It's really hard to tell whether this is worth it right now. Wow, this is quite a campaign mission for Serral to play. I mean, come on! What is this? The Maginot Line? And they didn't have very many Liberators. So I was like, well, I'll go over here. And over here is also like 30 turrets. He throws everything at it. The Banelings will break through. 7 Infestors on the way now. Takes a couple Liberators. Here comes the ground army. 11 SCVs go down, but I doubt Kira will replace them at this stage. Like 40 SCVs. He needs SCVs to mine gas, and that's about it. Ultralists and Infestors. Does he have neural parasite? He's got... What doesn't he have? Is the question we have to ask now. What upgrades does Serral not have? Okay. Burrow move for roaches. I can't remember the last time I saw a roach that didn't turn into a Ravager. He doesn't have, the Hydralisk upgrades. I don't think he has a Hydra Den. I'm struggling for the rest. At this point, can we get a not upgrades tab? That would be more helpful. Cure doesn't have bio upgrades. He doesn't have drilling claws. He doesn't have any widow mines, but it's kind of surprising he doesn't have drilling claws or smart servos. The thing is, the Transformers upgrade to switch modes from like Hellbat to Hellion and Thor from big deeps again, like big damage to splash damage. The smart servos upgrade actually seems like it would be worth it here. To be able to switch from single to... Oh, there it is! Finally! Finally! Thors versus tanks. Thors win. Thors versus Thors. Thors win. Ultras versus Thors. After the Thors beat the Thors. Guess what? Thors win again. The Thors will be left. Kill the base. Target the base. Oh, turn them against. No, wait, don't kill the Thors yet. You could... I don't... Thors win that day. But 124 Zerglings? Are you fucking insane? What the fuck? I mean, heck. As we witness this mass murder on my Christian Starcraft server. I'm not... You ever seen 120 Zerglings? Wait, how many? He has 142 Zerglings. You ever seen 140 Zerglings die in less than 8 seconds? I mean, these are doing some. Okay, alright. They're killing some tanks. Serral has the minerals, like he has the bank here. And Cure has the scans, don't worry about that. Drilling claws and smart servos. Stop listening to the stream, Cure. We're on a delay of about 3 days. Serral's like looking at his larva like, I don't know. He's just pressing buttons now. You can see every time he loses 50 supply of units, he just looks at his larva like, well, I don't know. What else haven't I built? Like, the Nidus, what are you gonna Nidus? What purpose does Nidus serve at this stage of the game? Like, you Nidus his production and what happens? Is that even worth it? I don't know. It seems like waste of gas on the Nidus. Cure's just kind of scanning around. He finds Serral's deciding to divest from fighting into a spore nursery here, and he will cultivate spore crawlers to sell at for profit, which is an interesting. I mean, like, all his time in the northern forests of Finland have taught him how to grow agriculture under adverse circumstances, like when you're attacked by trolls or ice. I don't know. That's about it. That's most of it. And also the other 3 Finns. That's all we got. That's... You see, since Finland is shrouded in darkness, and they've been social distancing since their inception as a country, it has cultivated a perfect environment to grow a professional StarCraft player. As those are the exact skills that take away from being good at StarCraft. So this is happening. Alright, there go those Hellbats. Meanwhile, Blinding Clouds, some Corruptors in the mix. Ultras, go on a diet! They're trying to slip through, but the turrets funneled them into a tank and Liberator Splash damage by Serral. Obliterated. What button does he pick? What button does Serral choose? 26 lings? 8, 12, 15, 17. Our Congress of Corruptors? 18 Brood Lords! Ah, no, but wait, there's more! 21! This... Oh, an entire feudal society of Brood Lords! 21! Oh, Guinness World Record! This is it! This is it! This is either the smartest possible move or the biggest mistake. But this is it! We've waited 30 minutes to decide. But the answer is 21 fully upgraded Brood Lords. So, alright. I don't think I've ever seen this many Brood Lords, and it oh my, and it reads, our broods will blot out the sun and recreate Finnish winter. And I'm not talking about, not Swedish winter, not the player who was named Winter before me. No, the darkness that I experienced for half the year. You will crumble underneath. The reign of broodlings, the little brood lords that will never grow up. Did you know broodlings are literally just little brood lords? But they will never succeed the brood lords. So how does this end? I have no, oh my god. We've got a Ragnarok of Thors. We've got an aristocracy of brood lords. And we've got 2 Gs for 1 player in game 1. It's unclear which. There's 400 gas left here, 1,000 gas in each of these. Let's just go to the units tab. The production tab is kind of useless right now. Stop reflexively going to production tab, please. Thank you. How many spores are out there? There are 35 spores. There are still 36 turrets. So, the final battle. I don't know. I have no idea. A biblical experience. If either of these players subscribe to that, like you should subscribe to me. If you want more games just like this one. Very awkward time for a shameless plug, but they're kind of backing off. They're flirting with each other. Brenda! Why don't we do any damage? We never did any damage. That's a lie! He has building armor. Wait, what do you mean? They can get that? Why don't we have that? Shh. Don't talk about it. So there are 19 Thors versus 21 Broodlords with, the Zerglings are still looking for whatever's left. Okay. Oh, fungal? Parasitic bomb? Are we doing it? Another fungal? The Thors aren't in range. The Liberator's zoning out infestors. The parasitic bomb did a lot of damage. Cure does pull to repair, and the repair is cheaper than rebuilding. It's 1/4 of the cost, but gas is precious. Serral has nothing to rebuild with. Here come the spores. Serral keeps trying to find an opportunity to just lay down the broodlings without actually having to engage the Thors. They have the same range. Actually, the Thors slightly outrange the Broodlord range, unless you... Like, it's fuzzy. It's fuzzy. It's a gray area. So that's a lot of Terran on the ground, but that's also a lot of Zerg in the sky. The Broodlings can really muck things up. Serral is taking this base. There's like 12, there's actually 1,800 gas in there. The SCVs are desperately trying to repair, but everything hurts. They're backlogged, they're underpaid and overworked. Those SCVs can only repair so quickly. Come on. You asked too much. Cure has only one more SCV than he started this game with. 186 versus 178 army supply. At this point, it's a chess match. There's barely any rebuilding left to be done. They might have a little money in the bank, but there's next to no income. Oh my god. That is so many Thors. The Broodlords are kind of stacked up. Oh, here come. It looks like Cure is really pushing the issue. Parasitic Bomb. It doesn't stack, but it does a lot of damage, especially when those Liberators... Oh, they just kind of time out there. $100, 360 supply of army. I'd love Serral to go to like 250, or 220 army. Oh my god. Zerglings do not counter 3/3 Blue Flame Hellbats. Let it be known. The spines move up. This base has been contested for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Changelings. Hey boys, in the pipe 5x5, you know what I'm saying? Wait a second. What if Changelings could just changed into whatever unit they saw first? They just become Thors? That would balance them, alright? That would make Changelings useful. Becomes a turret. Everything slows down. Neither side. Wow, that's ambitious. I stake my claim. The turret. I have Casus Belli, or however you say it. I never pronounced it correct. Casus Belli. Something Latin sounding. You see, I claim this for the Terrans. Oh, Brenda! No! Parasitic Bomb on the Vikings. A Scandinavian raid for the Scandinavian Zerg. But will he turn against the Thors, which his ancestors may have worshipped, but those ancestors were also Vikings, so this metaphor is getting real mixed. Or will Cure find the cure for the parasitic bombs and the fungal growths? Either way, it's... I mean, how much further back can you go? You can't go much further. He's building the Brood... He's morphing the Broodlords under Thor fire. Serral's just bleeding out. Serral's down 40 supply before the fight starts with the Zerglings from the back. Here come the Broods. Any neural parasites he has. The Thors turn against the Thors. The Broods turn against the Thors. The Thors against the Broods. How much energy the Thors are holding. The Broodlords are raining down. And it looks like Serral. Wait. The Thors, even one Thor is so dangerous. But Cure had a slightly larger bank. Somehow, it's not over. It looks like it's over, but that was just enough. Cure is building 5 Thors. And he's got a few on the field. He's gonna have like 8 Thors and Vikings. How is this still even? They have the workers they started with, but the armies are very much not. This is like a max level RPG player going into the starting zone right now. Oh, hello, drones. We have all the upgrades, we got all the gear, and we're ready to fight. Serral's building roaches. I guess Ravagers are all he really can hope for here. Zerglings are chasing down the little bit of mining. There's long-distance mining with the spine crawlers standing bravely by. They're holding their impaler tentacles erect in respect for the drone service. Here comes Cure with no respect. This is pretty much... Well, there's still a few hundred gas left over here. The armies... Serral... Cure's down to 7 SCVs. They're still at 100 supply. Wow. 40 minutes and counting. How many corruptors? There are 9 corruptors. There aren't that many Vikings. It's still... Oh, the spines are serving a purpose! The Ravagers? Oh, he goes for the CC! I don't know, like, what are the Viking upgrades? 3-3, of course. As are the... Everything's maxed out. Everything is maxed out. We've got full epic gear. It comes down to this. Somehow the armies are still even. Oh, he spots the infestors. Serral, back. Whoa, 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 whoa! Just no I don't... Oh, no, no, no. The infestors are everything. Oh, but he catches a couple Thors caught between the commands and he turns it around. But the Thors turn against the Broods. The Broods raining down. Ravager, Corrosive Bile. The command center incidentally burns. The Brood Lords. Some of them badly bruised. But where's the anti-air? Here comes a Cyclone out of nowhere. Haven't seen that the whole game. And won't see it again. But the Broods. The last Thor. The last 2 Thors. With like 4 HP between them. They kill the Broods. 30 to 32! How? He needs to kill the Thors! It's 30 to 34 supply! It doesn't get any closer! The SCVs, there's no money to repair! He can't repair! He's out of money! He needs to kill, there's 1 Thor! Oh no, the repair's enough! There's 0 minerals and 0 gas! And Cure wins! Oh my god! The closest StarCraft game! I've seen draws that weren't as close as... I've seen ties that weren't as close as this! How does this happen? Serral finishes the game at 14 supply with enough for 2 Zerglings or 1 Roach, and Cure finishes with enough for nothing. His last Thor! 1 Thor! And a handful of Hellions. And a couple very brave. All of the rest of the SCVs came to save the day. Those SCVs won the game. The true winner of this game was the SCVs at the end of the day. And that concludes game 1. That was the closest game. Like, the highest... I don't know. Like, I really felt that Serral was flailing. But at the same time, Cure wasn't really punishing him. We're just can we move on? Can we just spend the first 10 minutes of this game talking about the last one? As is customary. So Cure beat Serral, even though it barely registers. But, like, that whole time, it felt like Serral didn't... The entire... It's like... That was almost like, when, the Eagles come in Lord of the Rings kind of deal. And don't get started on that argument. But, like... Serral's like, all hope is lost. Ultras don't work. Why are there mutas? Zerglings don't work. Here come the Brood Lords! And it really looked like the Brood Lords were the answer. Right up until the split second it didn't. Like, you can't underestimate Thors against Broods. And I think Serral estimated nearly perfectly. You can't estimate much better than that. But... when it comes to, like, remember how that started with the Roach timing against Battlecruiser. And then Serral just kind of sitting back and felt like... I felt like the Broodlords were the answer earlier, but if you go Broodlords too early, then you run the risk, like, Broodlords are super immobile, even more immobile than Thors somehow. So then you're kind of stuck, like, you can't really expand to the other side of the map and have Broodlords. Broodlords are an endgame unit, which I think Serral educated us all in. I don't know if it was the right call to play with his Lisks and his Lings, his much more mobile units, until the map was mining out. If he had just gone straight into Infestor Broodlord, would it have been better, or would it have tied him to the bases he had and no more? Because that's what, because once you go Broodlords, you kind of got to win with Broodlords. Because you're probably not going to rebuild them. Well, there are two types of Broodlords. There's, I don't have nearly enough Broodlords that you rebuild, but you've already lost. And then there's, these are my Broodlords, and if you lose them, that's it. And Serral went with the endgame, like the checkmate Broodlords. And yeah, the Neural Parasite was a huge part of dealing with the Thors. Like, in any of those fights, if one or two more Thors were Neural Parasited, or one or two less, it tilts everything. It really does make the difference. Having half a dozen Thors that are closest to your Broodlords being on your side is always a good idea. Oh, Cure, trying to be Clem here. Cure, not Clem. Cure is Cure. I can't believe that ended... Like, come on. Like, you can't script it better than that. And you know how hard it would be to play by a script for that long? Like, 40 minutes, and it ends at 14 and 8 supply. Like, it ends at 12 supply with 0 minerals and 0 gas? How is that possible? That's not possible. I wasn't, like, it wasn't an exaggeration when I said I've seen tie games, like draw games, that weren't as close. Because draw games a lot of the time are on a technicality. They're on like, oh, well, I don't have any more anti-air units. But they're not like, I have nothing. I have nothing left. Not a single thing left. It usually doesn't end like that. But that game was, I have 1 unit, and you have none units. And this is it. And we spent 41, 42, however many minutes figuring this out. So, what's game 2? Serral with a pretty quick lair. Not super quick, but it is his first choice over upgrades and tech. Which means probably Spire, maybe just Baneling speed. And it is going to be bio. So we're kind of get back to your more standard TVZ. I think both players are like, let's just go back to the playbook. After that, you just go back to whatever your standard ladder build is, pretty much. And it really does look like, okay, I open Viking 3cc versus like 60 drones in a lair. Probably double Evo chambers in like 4 seconds here from Serral to make me look smart. And then Aspire. Wait. I'm actually surprised. He's not going for any Evos. It has to be Spire then. Everybody. I mean, Serral has a lot of things. Oh, well, Serral had a lot of... So that... So we can't get out. The Queen's a little late for that. You know, 10 drones isn't that bad. But it's not great. Like... It's not good. And that's a lot of mining time as well. So, Cure just kind of YOLO'd in there. I feel like Serral meant to make a Spire when the lair finished. And now he has 550 gas, and he does not have a Spire. which is not good. So that, I don't know what he's doing with all this gas. Like, it doesn't justify the upgrades. There should be a spire here somewhere. He's not going to just make banelings. Gonna go like 50 banelings and prove me wrong. Wow, this Serral, like, you don't expect it. Of all people, it's not supposed to happen. Just ignore that. Serral is the guy this is not supposed to happen to. Serral's the guy, like, why is there not creep on this side? Like, he's the guy who's not supposed to get tilted. But that spire is just late. That's just a mistake. Like, letting the Hellions in was a mistake. It distracted him, and now his spire is like a minute late because he was distracted by the Hellions and he essentially forgot about it. Now, Cure against Banelings is always a dice roll. He's not, let's put it this way. He's not the player who's known for his Marine micro against Banelings. I'd put a few other players ahead of him on that list. He's more of a macro player, to put it kindly. But so far, I mean, he's in a great spot economically. He spots the spire there. Like, he's at 75 workers. Oh no. Oh, is that drilling claws already? Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Oh no. Well, that's a kidney punch right there. Serral was just starting to regain his footing. Like, he got his drone count back up, good creep spread, decent worker count, spires finishing, and then that. Cure's really, like, this is a Cure special. This is I've seen next to no other Terrans do this, but when Cure gets in a good spot, especially when he opens 3cc, he just doesn't stop Widowmine dropping. He loves his Widowmine drops because it makes other players feel the pain that he does against splash damage. And it's really, like, a lot of players aren't used to dealing with this many mines. It's just awkward. Like, it just keeps happening. Another Widowmine hits. He loves his mine drops. And they're working for him. Mine's not a bad unit at all, especially when you're ahead economically. You can afford to trade him out. And you make one mistake as Zerg, and you slide further. This drone, well, you first. The beauty of mine drops is it doesn't even matter if you can see them. They still kill 2 mutas. That's worth it now. And another one! Oh, and this one, oh no. Like, you miss one, and suddenly, like, even if you don't miss it. Yes, yes. As you can tell, both players are a little distracted. Cure playing a great game. Serral not really. Like, it's a tough match from him. It's like, now I don't really see an advantage for Serral. His creep spread isn't great. His worker count is fine but not good. His upgrades are even. His hive isn't on the way yet. His muta, like, he has a lot of mutas, but he's up against a mass mine player with drilling claws, so. Oh, well, less mines now. Cure not super great at keeping his medevacs alive. All the 2-2 upgrades finishing. And we'll see if Cure presses the issue. He's not going for any later game tech. He's maxed out. Now's the time to strike. He's got his Thor drop. Ready to move around. It's actually stuck by the infrastructure in the main. It doesn't get much better for Cure for a while. Like, Right now, Cure has 2-2. He's got 3-3 on the way. He's maxed out. This is the time to strike, if there was ever a time. Like, until 3-3 is finishing, he doesn't have much of a window. Good splits. The mutas are helping. Well, not great splits. Good. He ran out of Widow Mines in there. Like, Serral is going for a hive. He is maxed out, but he doesn't have that extra level of tech. So Cure should be looking to trade as efficiently as possible. Which last game, yeah, with mech units he was doing well with. But this one's a little closer. Cure just doesn't have the dominance with bio that, well, like, he was very comfortable playing mech, we saw. But now Serral has managed to get his economy on stable footing. And you see him much more in his comfort zone right now. Ultralisk Caverns on the way. The mutas! Thor's here. Marines. Oh my god, blocked in by a Marauder! Oh! 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 The House Thor guards that corner of the base. It actually physically can't get out without a medevac or destroying his own buildings. Cure needs to be careful not to get many of his own Marines killed because his Marauders are too thick. Widowmine doesn't find a good connection. Serral threatening the production right now. The most dangerous part of the game for a Terran player. +3 infantry attack is finishing up. The Marines are going to scramble home to defend. There's just... He has to come all the way back in a contaminate on +3 armor. The House Thor. Magic box targeted down, minimizing that splash damage. He tactical goops the +3 armor upgrade. It's going to delay it mildly. No forgetting Adrenal Glands for Serral this time. Oh my god. Another big hit. Four Ultras on the way. So Serral has gotten his Hive Tech online. Up and running. Cure has taken a fifth. Like, despite all that damage. Cure, why are you building supply depots in your main? One, you're maxed out. Two, like, are you... I don't know if the supply depot wall-offs have really worked out for him thus far. But, I mean, if it makes him feel better, sure. So, while Cure has taken a lot of superficial damage, he still has a good economy and all his production up. So, Serral... Oh. Not sure exactly what happened here. But this attack is half. Serral has bases on both sides. I don't think Cure really expected this. Even the Broodling's going to draw a mine in. Oh, not quite. Ultras. Big Daddy lists have arrived. Do they have speed? No, they're not Usain Boltralists yet. But they're not paperless either. They got chitinous plating done. 3-3 is done. Full upgrades for both sides. Here we go again. Another. But the Muta's looking to flank. The Medivacs are nearly out of energy, but there are plenty of them. Cure is pushing forward. He's got plenty of army supply. Right now, Serral has a lot in the mail, but he's not even maxed out. He doesn't even have the ability to max out. He needs to build more Overlords. He is. He's going to go up to 200, but right now, Cure has about 20 more supply to leverage. The Queens are here. Brenda and her knitting crew trying to knit back together these Ultras. Where is Ultra Speed? Ultra Speed is critical off of creep for making them actually effective against bio units, as these bio units are happy to demonstrate. Another Ultra gunned down the rich Vespine base. Split, stim, Widow Mines, and the Ultras are dying too quick for the Queens. Come on, boys! Hold it together! The bio is driven back. The transfuses are enough. Brenda and her knitting crew doing enough to keep the Ultras together and defend the base for now. But a few drones went down. Serral now finally able to remax out. He still has the income lead. Cure occasionally will drop mules and drop a base, but he doesn't usually have the income lead. Now, Serral with his mutas, he's kind of trading out his mutas. I think 15 to 20 mutas is still a solid number. One-shotting medevacs, still able to fight Marines. Well, maybe not too many Marines. Does he have Burrow? Oh my god. Of course he does. You're gonna make the most obvious Burrowbane mine of all time. I don't think Kira noticed it. But there aren't even that many Marines to hit. He's got 19 Marauders. Which, oh my god, a Widow Mine hit doing more than a Burrowbane ever could. The base goes down. The Marauders eat most of the damage. They'll hold the line so that others don't have to, giving their lives so the Ultras might have a chance of being taken out. Where is the Ultra Speed? Or, if I didn't actually know StarCraft at all, I'd call it anabolic synthesis. But that's very hard to say while casting. Where is your anabolic... Ultra Speed? Like, even if he hits... The problem with main mines is, like, whenever is Cure gonna have more than a dozen Marines clumped up? Is it worth the energy? Serral in the past has said that main mines... But remember that one time, like, 7 years ago, when Scarlet hit a main mine to win the game? That was... Even then, that was a very niche scenario with no scans. Like, it was very specific timing that had to happen. Like... Those Zerglings finding real damage here. Cure getting denied, but he still has a huge army. Like, oh, a queen. Her knees broken. And her body beaten. No. No, says the Ultra. But Cure's pushing key bases again. He took out the bases on the right side of the map, and he's severely threatening the ones on the left. Liberators siege up a backstop here. The medevacs draining out energy. 15 SCVs go down as the Mutas at the planetary. The Zerglings and one Ultra just kind of clearing out this base slowly. And there's not much left to deal with. Serral can't really... This is kind of a weird amount. Cura's a base here. The planetary's done. Planetary's not the be-all, end-all against Ultras, but they don't hurt. Well, some mules dropping. Really taking advantage of it while he can. The Queen's already out of energy. The Medevacs are already out of energy. Can't everyone just stop fighting? No! War! Murder! Death! Here come the Ultras! Banelings! It's hard to tell what's happening. We're just gonna have to see what's left. And what's left is Cure stimming and winning and chasing the non-speed Ultras back onto the creep and possibly to their graves. The Queens are gone. The Ultras sprint back. Maybe at some point Serral will realize he doesn't have Ultra Speed. But the bio units are split. The Terran army is doing too goddamn well. And this time, it's not going to be close. This time, it's decisive. At the end of the day, Cure comes out on top. And barring a massive micro mistake, which is almost impossible to make with this unit composition at this stage of the game, he's not going to falter. He has the income. He's taking out Serral's mining bases. And Serral doesn't have some sort... He's building 6 more Ultralists. He still doesn't have Ultra Speed. Anabolic Synthesis. Yeah, I got it. Oh my god, did I just hear a Widow Mine? Oh, the sound of terror. Hearing a Widow Mine off-screen is essentially the lifestyle of a Zerg. Like, that's just... It's one of those things. Trigger warning, the Zerg players. I'm sure this Bane Mine will save the day. If it hits like 5 Widow Mines, that'd be a miracle. Sure, a Bane Mine. But does it matter? The Ultras are chopping through, but they're getting chewed up. The Bio Army has more than enough damage. 13 drones died to a Widow Mine. G! Cure! More than enough Bio. Serral scrambling. And now Cure is on match point. Serral looked like Cure looked like the better player there. Cure slipped at some moments, but overall... Jimmy says, we gotta go to a quick advertisement before the next game, and we'll be right back into it. Gotta get our sponsors, all those shout-outs and all that. Be right back. Hey everybody, I'm Winter, and I'm here to tell you about Team Alpha X. Follow Team Alpha X SC2 on Twitter, Alpha X SC2, for more updates about awesome tournaments like King of Battles. No, once again, not a mobile game, but instead one of the biggest StarCraft 2 tournaments of the year. If you enjoy my coverage of it as well, like, subscribe, ring the bell, dislike. You're just furthering the Zerg apologist agenda by showing games where Zerg... Fair. Cure just got the better of Serral that last game. Like, the first game, that was drama. That last game was decisive. That looked like Cure knew how to beat Serral. From the start, with Serral leaving his base open, the Hellions running it. And a lot of players won't even take the risk of running the Hellion. They'll just assume the Zerglings will be in position. But every once in a while, the Hellions will run by. And they just get too many. Like, that shouldn't happen. On paper, that shouldn't happen. Then Serral delayed it. Like, his Spire was delayed. If his mutas were quicker, Cure was obviously struggling with the mutas. And then not getting ultra speed. And I point out these things like, these are relatively tiny things. But we are talking about some of the best. In this case, Serral's a world champion. And even though I might be an entire Platinum League of MMR below Serral's, like, he'll be, I'm sure, one of the first to tell you that maybe you shouldn't forget key upgrades or delay your Spire or let Hellions in your base. You should make your opponent smell the mutas and also their impending death. With a smile on your face and ice in your heart. But that's just how they grow up. Actually, I don't think they smile in Finland. But otherwise. Really? An NG Bay block on the third? What a guy. And the Reaper looking for an opportunity. Now, this map, so some maps there's kind of an option for a third base. Usually Terrans will take the triangle third. And then Zergs will take the outer third, like think of Death Aura, or think of Everdream used to be one. Romance aside, you can't really take this base as a third nearly as easily. It's on the low ground, it's wide open to attack. So you're kind of limited to, like, one we lost the Reaper. Did he try a creep tumor? And then I'm not sure there, but the Reaper kind of died. You're kind of limited to 1/3. There are, like, you could take this, but it's less obvious than other maps, and that's why I think Kira went for the NG Bay block. Third command center from Kira. Like, and with all due respect, Kira is quite a macro player. His micro is not what he's known for. In fact, what he's known for is beating players who should be in another weight class. But he's done it before. He's done it 2 times in this series. And he only needs to do it 1 more time. The perpetual underdog. He's going bio. And it went fine. I love the Widow Mine drops, if only to show how painful it is. Like, Widow Mines are, how do I put it? I hate them with a burning, fiery passion. Even when I'm Terran. Like, when I'm Terran and I see a good Widow Mine hit for me, I'm like, aha. See, you don't need skill to play Terran. But that would just be me on Twitter, not me casting. I'm professional and unbiased while casting. People should make more Widow Mines. No, I only make units that start with M, and mines are technically a W. Stop it. Cure's going... He's doing it again! Mom, Cure's going for mines again! Again? He just did that! Does he get to go mines? Is it his night to go mines? Like, why else would he be going? For... Wait, what? He's going for... Did he do... He might have done this last game. I was just so caught up. Wow. Cure really likes his Widow Mines. He really likes his Widow Mines. Oh, and he knows Serral doesn't. The Widow Mines were very effective last game. They were more than enough. They really undercut Serral. So... 2 Hellions chilling. Double factory Widow Mine. Oh my god, don't mind me, Mr. World Champion, sir. I'll mind you. Oh, this is, whoa. I don't think he went for the factories as quick last game because he had so many Hellions. This time he's just like, I know what works for me. Okay, I know what works. Wow. 1, tucking Hellions in between mineral patches, and 2, Widow Mines. My top 2 favorite things. The double medevac drop doing a significant amount of damage to the 4th hatch. Leaving it vulnerable. I don't think he'll get it. Mainling speed is closing in. It's a risk, though. Like, those Marines are starting to get bruised pretty bad. Oh, target fire! And then he just kind of is like, you know what? I'm not Clem. I'm not Clem. That's why I'm going for 2 factory Widow. What? I'm not sure what happened there, but... Oh, yeah. Get them, boys. Jacked up and good to go. Yeah. Let me at him. In the pipe, 5 by. I mean, I forget the... How do I forget the Marine mines? Alright, so this, like, Cure's baiting the hook here. He's coming into the 4th. He's dragging the units away in the most obvious bait and switch. But will Serral be ready? He waited until Joe. No! Oh! Oh, it hurts! Oh! Oh, this hurts the Zerg. I mean, oh, and another one. Oh, no. Like, I think it did enough. Like, they're only 75-25. Did he get the... And he got the medevac out. So even if he loses the mines, the amount of damage... Oh, and another one! It doesn't stop! It doesn't stop! That's some real trap shit right here. And I'm not talking about the Protoss player. I'm talking about the techno music with all these drops. It doesn't... Like, is it going to be a big drop? Is it going to be a small drop? That's called EDM. Alright? These are not acoustic instruments. They're mechanical. And we like it that way. Whenever a Cure tries to use natural instruments like bio units, it doesn't go well. But the mines do. I just hear mines everywhere. Even when there aren't any. Oh my god. I just cut away from the, probably the, I don't know how many. The 59 Zerglings have died. It's unclear. Oh, another one! And another. Wait, he doesn't. Okay. That was a little ambitious. Like, Cure's ahead, 18 supply. He's got 70 workers. Serral's just been building drones to counter the drones he lost. But he keeps going. He just set down 2 more drops. He can't stop the drop. He doesn't care. Like, only one of them has to get through. It doesn't even matter. Like, 1 Widow Mine can make an entire Widow Mine drop worth it. Or even 2, it depends. What time is it, Cure? Can you... Oh, it's drop o'clock? Yeah. That's what I thought. And, I mean, like, I don't know what he's expecting to do. They're gonna... Oh, my God. Oh, sweet baby Zerg Jesus. But wait. Mainlings killed 13 SCVs. So, in another round... What is happening? There's a Thor here. Meanwhile, another mine drop. Well, that, like, killing 2 mutas is 200% worth it. Maybe more. Because that's 200 for... You know what? It's worth it. On top of softening up the mutas, which isn't huge right now, but it keeps them from attacking for a little bit. And killing, too. Brenda! We're caught between a rock and a hard place. There's still space for the creep, Karen. You don't need that much personal space. We're really hurting right now. We need you to be a team player. I hate team games. Don't we all? Don't we all? Cure is closing in on 2-2, but Serral, like, once again, just like last game, Serral's been off balance, but he still has plenty of economy. So what does he do differently this time? It's a different map. It's a little more open in the center, but overall the rush distance is significantly shorter. Oh yeah. Here now learns that there are mineral walls there that need to be mined out. It only has like 10 minerals, so it's pretty quick, but... The mutas coming up against the edge of the map. Past. Wow, Cure's sensor tower doesn't even cover the edge of the map, which seems like, you know, a bit of an. Oh! It was a bait! Oh, masterful bait! Oh! Was it intentional? I don't know. Or was it just a happy accident? Whatever makes Cure look better. The sensor tower not covering that whole area, drawing Serral all the way around into the hidden mines that he's just going to put in the same spot because it's so obvious he wouldn't do it twice. It worked. It worked. Cure, you're so crazy. Cure's so crazy. Cure is crazy. Like, somehow his name is spelled with a K. The C is silent, and so is the K. Also, the K is hidden. It's like crazy Terran. He's like a corner store of Terran with just like Joey Ray's bar full of liquor and also micro. So he just takes a few shots of whiskey and starts building his factories, and that's how Cure do. It's like it's all natural Cure. Marauders pop out of a barracks getting hit by mutas. So this time the mines didn't really work. The mutas are now kind of, well, unfortunately Cure has a wall himself. So, so Serral just kind of flies out. You outplayed yourself, Cure. You're gonna want to mine these. There's a mineral wall right there. I mean, like, I love Cure. Sometimes he'll make the sickest, like, mine drop plays, and sometimes that happens. Like, and whatever that was. He caught him monologuing again. I bet you won't expect my new strategy, Mr. Serral. Meanwhile, Serral flies away. Ah, that dastardly Zerg escapes again. That's a lot of banelings. I'm not sure what the banelings are supposed to hit here, though. Like, there's one ultra, and it's like, he's like, I guess I gotta hit the marauders, which isn't great. The mutas are over here. Banelings find widow mines. Widow mines not huge. I mean, this is a mess. This is a mess right now. Crazy Cure at it again. He's getting this time Serral's getting ultra speed. But this time, actually, I don't know if it's a better spot. Like, Cure has only 58 SCVs, but that might be a good thing. He has plenty of bases. He's maxed out. He's actually banking money while he's maxed. So he's got 133 army supply with 3-3. Serral's at +2/+3. I guess his +3 melee attack's about to finish. But his army is huge right now. With high-sec auto-tracking and Neil Steel armor, here come a couple ultras, but the turrets! The turrets! Wall them off! They need to go on a diet! That would be the best upgrade! They're like, we like paleo. It's like, well... maybe you need to just deal with... Maybe just don't eat for a few days, ultras. They should be able to go to the... Oh... Ultras should have a chance, like, instead of morphing, they should be able to upgrade a Zerg gym and just work out and post photos on Instagram for, like, 10 minutes. And then when they come out, they're 50%, like, thinner, but also 50% faster, and do 50% more damage. And then they're just, swoltralisks after that. But only if they get enough likes on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram. That's what I'm trying to say. I might need a cat, though. Moving on. That ultra, yeah, that didn't go great. Serral's just, like, banelings and ultras just... Cure builds so many marauders. He's got 16 marauders. He's building 3 at a time. The marauders are great here. Sure, they're mutas, but the marauders, they're just the right amount of thickness. Like, they get in the way without being in the way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. The Marauders are making things very... Serral keeps trying to, like, hit banelings into things, and it's just not a juicy target. Well, come on, boys. You ready for a drop? Oh, my God. Those Widow Mines doing so much! Serral is on D. He's continually maxed out. The Cure's army is just bigger. He just has more stuff. That 142 to 114 army supply, and Serral isn't winning fights. Like, he's not picking fights he can win. So it feels like we're reaching kind of a checkmate. Cure hasn't really lost a base at any point, whereas Serral is continually under threat. Uh-huh. Well, here comes Serral. Giving it all she's got. The Ultras chewing through Thors and Marines. This is a good engagement. And fighting on the other side as well. But the Okay, well, I feel like... Oh my. Well... You know what? Well, that's, nothing there was good. Let's put it that way. Serral kind of just lost all of his mutas, which was the only thing forcing Cure to really respect anti-air. Serral just, like, we haven't seen a single Hydra or a single Lurker in this entire series. So, I don't know. Was that it? Was that the choice? I'm speaking kind of in the past tense, because, like, what? Cure's not losing bases. Serral is losing fights and losing bases. Like, he might win small battles, but there goes a base, and Cure gets out, and he's remaxed. Serral doesn't have the minerals to remax, and what would he build if he was to? This, like, there was a tipping point in Game 1. There was a tipping point, I feel. Here comes the knitting crew again, but this time it's even more desperate. The reinforcements streaming forward. There's a Ling burrowed on the boardwalk. Remember the battles on the boardwalk? Ah, yes, the battle days. The queens try to keep things together. Apocrief Brenda! Support me! No one ever gives support love. They just give them widow mines to the forehead. Where's our protection? Nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, Cure is... I mean, he's starting to mine out. The supplies, like, Cure can't really remax. Where's the Overseer? There's no Overseer. Here it is. But the Widow Mines have recharged again. Like, you can't let them get... Cure does it. Cure 3-0. G. The breaker of brackets. Cure. Now, if you were betting on the underdog, if you were betting on Cure, if you were a betting man, I don't think you would be betting on a 3-0. But after the closest match I may have ever seen, definitely this year, and maybe ever, it just started. I feel like Cure kind of figured out what was on Serral's mind. And he really played the mind games, if you would. As his mind were... Okay, you get it. It's a mind joke. It's a mind joke. He was playing some Minecraft. I see a man of culture himself. Why micro when you can play Minecraft? But I do have something, and thank you to Alpha X, as always, for that tournament, for these games. Now, Jimmy had this image queued up, which may still be true, but that's not the one. Where is it? Here we go. So, Serral posted, instead of sleeping for the last 2 nights, I have been thinking if the series would have looked different if I committed with the 4 Ravagers instead of giving him time to repair the Thor. That's how close. That game worth multiple nights without sleep for the finisher. And what conclusion did you reach? After 2 days, Serral has yet to reach a conclusion and will still remain without sleep. He will seclude himself in a cabin in the Finnish Northlands. He will do battle with the trolls and himself. And then when he returns, maybe from those ancient Finnish lands, from those ancient traditions and peoples, he will finally find the way to defeat a Thor. Thank you for watching. Good luck and have fun. Check out these videos. Okay, that was good. That was good. I didn't have that joke until 1 sentence before. I get to pat myself on the back with that one.